Wow, this video is going to be a hot one. This one is all about how to create steam for food photography. And I don't think we need that much steam to get an effective photo. So if you want to learn some different ways to create steam for food photography, and it has other uses, let's get into it and check it out. Well, that was a hot beginning to this video for sure. Wow. Anyways, this video is focusing on steam for food photography. I did say that it has other uses, and it does. Any type of photography, these type of effects will work, and you can apply them in smaller or bigger scale to your required needs. So without further ado, if you're new to the channel, my name's Michael. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe so you're aware when I post new awesome videos like this. Our first way, the first couple I'm going to talk about, I don't have access to, but I'm going to kind of just go over it with you so you're aware of it. The first one is this little thing here, and it's a little portable smoke or fog machine. They come in a couple of different styles. You can control them and do little sets versus a big cloud bank like I had at the start of this video. Another thing that we could do is dry ice. I don't have any here, but it will also work very well to create that steam smoke type effect. Be careful though if you're using dry ice because it's so cold that it actually burns. Now the next one, check out this image. I had a little bit of fun with it. I did it in Photoshop. So we can use Photoshop to create some fake looking steam. Check out this little clip on how quick and easy it is to actually do it. Okay, in Photoshop, we've got our image. Come over on the left-hand side and you want your brush tool. You then need to come and change your brush. You can get all kinds of different clouds, moons, animal shapes. Here I've got just kind of a fog type brush, and that is what I'm going to go with. And then I just simply paint in wherever I want the fog to go. It's that easy. Just make sure over here on the left that you actually pick white, and then I can add different types of blur. I can come in and I can add a motion blur to it. So I can shift and change the angle. I can change the amount of blur that is on. So I can really get it blurred right out and do the whole image. If you're doing blur, you want to create the fog on a separate layer. But that's how easy it is. You see how well that worked? That, I think, works really well, and you can use it in a pinch, or you can fine-tune the steam or smoke that you have in Photoshop as well. Now, enough of me sitting here babbling about this. Let's get into the studio and let's look at some real-world examples and actually create some images using steam. All right, now we're in the studio. Our subject is this wonderful pile of mashed potatoes. It's easy to work with and will be a great example of how to create steam to make these look piping hot. Now I did warm them up. I had them in the fridge and I warmed them enough that actually created a bit of steam. We'll get into that one in a minute. The first thing I want to show you is not the fog machine, but a steamer. You can see here, this is pumping it out beautifully. I can put it in behind and I've got a lot of steam. Now, what you want to do when you're using something like this is you want to get all your lighting set. Then you want to introduce your steam. So everything's ready to go. You come down, you give it a blast of steam and you pull this away and you get a little puff of steam come back up from it. So I can do that, pull this away, and the steam lingers just for a little bit. Now, you will get it kind of where it looks like it's behind. So you can bring this kind of over like this, give it a bit of steam, pull it away quick, get your photo very quickly, and you will make it look like steam's coming from this by simply using a steamer. Now this is a heavy duty steamer. Let me just turn this off because it starts gurgling and making all kinds of wonderful noises. A steamer is another way. I've already shown you a few others. The other one, let me just grab it down here, was one I started with at the beginning, and that is using a fogger. Now the problem with the fogger is it creates a big cloud of fog. It's hard to get a little narrow source out of this. But I mean, look at this fun Halloween one I did using a fogger to create that steam, fog, smoke type effect within the image for the food photography. So you can use something like this. It takes a little more patience and practice. Maybe run this through a little narrow hose. You can contain it that way a bit. The handheld ones though, brilliant. So there's a couple of ways right there. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, there's actually still a little bit of steam coming off this potato. I just saw it. Now, another way is doing something like this. Get the flame, get a piece of wood of any type. Hopefully you got a better flame than I do. There we go. And look at the effect I'm getting. So I can put this down here and then pull it away. Same thing again. I can leave it back here. Let me try and get some more smoke happening here. There, look at that effect of the smoke swirling around. It looks like steam as well. Have to be careful though. Wood burning and that has a kind of a bluer tint versus a pure steam that you would get off the potatoes naturally. So be aware of that. You might have to shift the color a bit in Photoshop. But that's another way. We can simply burn a piece of wood, blow out a candle, wave it around like that. There's multiple things that you can kind of burn to create that bit of effect in behind. Now, one very easy one to do is nuke it. Give me 2 seconds while I nuke this and I'll show you the steam I can get off of this. Hang on, right back. Already hot off the press, right out of the thing. Now I put a black background there just so you can see the steam a little better. But look at that. I nuked it, over nuked it, could actually even nuked it a bit more, but you can see the steam coming off of it. You can't get any more real than that. The food is actually steaming. I have one other way that we can create the steam. It requires Photoshop and you're taking 2 photos. What we're going to do is we're going to take our wonderful pile of mashed potatoes, no steam, take a photo. And then I'm going to use a tampon, a cotton ball. These are makeup swabs. We're going to put it in boiling hot water, get our photo first, then I'm simply going to set this on top. Because a lot of times when you're doing all this stuff in behind, it doesn't look right. Why? Because the smoke or steam is behind the subject. It's not coming. See how this is coming off the top? That's what you need. So in order to do this, I need to take this steaming hot and place it on top. Now I've got the steam rising. I simply then need to take this out in Photoshop. So let me get some boiling hot water, get this in, get it nuked, and then I'll show you how it works. Right back again. Oh, all right. I have a cup of boiling water. You can see the steam happening. Inside are those little cloths. So I've taken my first photo. Camera's on a tripod so it doesn't move. I then grab our pads here. And this is boiling hot. And I put it on top like that. And we take our second photo because you can see the steam rising from that cotton. We put the two together in Photoshop. Now, the one thing that you really do need though, see my light position back here? It's hard to see it in here. I have the lights in the front so you can't get the full effect of this. That's why I went with a real black background. If you light steam, smoke, fog from the front, you're going to have very little effect from it because you're washing it out. Smoke, steam, smog, all needs to be backlit to really bring in that effect of the steam coming up. You also want a darker background so it stands out against it. If I take this away, because you can see we have steam coming up, when I take it away, there's less of an effect of the steam because it's on a lighter wall. The steam's getting lost. So be aware of that when you're doing your photos, that you want to try and create a darker background by not letting light fall on that background and controlling it. Again, you want to backlight your subject so you can get that steam effect at its best. Now, when you're backlighting, all this is going to fall into shadow. I do have a softbox over here, which I added a bit of fill light in just to even it out a bit. Now, the other thing you can do is create a bit harder light source. That helps with the steam as well. Now, we've been talking for a couple of minutes, but if you look, there's still steam coming off of this from that cotton. So it works quite well, but beware, you need to work quite fast. So that's it for this one. I've gone over a bunch of different ways that you can create that steam smoke effect within food photography. And like I said, it'll work for a multitude of other type of photography as well. So anyways, I don't want to babble too much. That's it for this one. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos like this. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. So Until the next time.